It was an incredible update. Nearly 40 years later, the families of Suzanne Tice and Aaron Gilmore may finally get some justice now that DNA evidence has linked a man with their murders.
And this is a day that I and we have been waiting almost an entire lifetime for.
45-year-old Tice and 22-year-old Gilmore live just a few kilometers from each other in downtown Toronto. They were killed months apart in 1983, and now police have arrested and charged Joseph George Sutherland in connection with their murders. Police say he wasn't even a person of interest, and these cases would have stayed cold if it were not for something called investigative genetic genealogy, which means they have tapped into the databases of those home DNA tests. For more on how this could change the future of policing, we are joined by Valerie Blackmore. She's the president and CEO of Wyndham Forensic Group. Welcome to Your Morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you.
For people who may not have followed along this story closely, how do police use sites like Ancestry and 23andMe to solve cold cases?
Well, they can take DNA samples that may have been collected many years ago through the course of the investigation. And now, since that time, with advances in DNA technologies, they can upload those samples, crime scene samples, and start to look for not necessarily direct matches, but close matches to that DNA sample that might indicate a familial or a family relationship to that DNA sample, and then investigate around that.
And do these sites point to one person specifically, or maybe just narrow down the options?
No, those sites generally give you a ranking of how much DNA people in that database are sharing. So police can start with the highest or the closest match, the people in the database that are sharing the most amount of DNA with that crime scene sample.
How excited is somebody like yourself to see something like this work?
Well, it's very exciting. We work with a number of police agencies that are now going back to cases that are 30, 40, 50 years old with the hope that they might be able to finally resolve it. So it is very exciting. It's new. It taps into new information that when DNA technology for forensic science was first implemented here in Canada, it just wasn't available. So it's really sort of the next generation of DNA typing for forensic casework.
Well, you say Canadians don't tend to use those genealogy sites as often as Americans do, which gives us a smaller database to pull from. Will that possibly slow down police work here in Canada?
I don't know that it's necessarily slowing it down, but it does mean that those direct-to-consumer databases generally right now have far more American samples in them. But I think American, United Kingdom, Canada, those are the top ranking sample types or participants that are contributing to those databases right now. But there are a number of them across, around the world. So the common ones that we're hearing here about here in North America, absolutely, they're sort of North American centric.
It's fascinating. It's been used before in the province of Ontario, but yet to be tested in court, which will be the next step in this process. Valerie, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.